Hi guys, welcome to my show. So every single week, myself and Mukali Mary, will be introducing you to iconic women, leaders, revolutionaries, change makers. They could be mothers or wives, sisters, lawyers, engineers, CEOs, women from different walks of life, women who are doing their most. So today I would like to introduce all of you to a woman who landed in the business world accidentally. But 20 years in, she's still at it, doing the most. She is the founder of one of the leading graphic design agencies in this country. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's an entrepreneur, she is an author and a leader in her field. What I really love about this woman is that she is very extremely passionate about women, and not just women, women in business. So let's do this. Hi, high five. Thank you so much. Mukali is here for part. Great. Awesome. Hey!
Hello.
Oh my goodness! Nice to meet you. Hugs. I'm a hugger.
It's okay. It's fine. I don't mind hugging. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Karibu.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. We can start here, right?
Thank you so much for creating time for us.
Thank you.
Busy woman.
We try.
And we walked right into this. And I know I hadn't told people who are meeting here today.
Yeah.
So I'd just like for you to do that power intro so that we can start the interview and talk about all this really beautiful things. Okay, cool.
Yeah, super. So my name is Patricia Okello. I like to call myself an entrepreneur, and right now the journey that I'm in, I call myself an advocate for small businesses, and especially women-run businesses. Yeah,
I like that.
That's my passion.
Women in business.
Yes. Yeah.
And you keep saying that you landed into this world accidentally.
Yeah.
How did that come from?
I'm telling you. So like many women my age at the time, I was getting married, and I had met my husband in Nairobi, but he actually worked in Mombasa. And at that time I was working with a media house, and ultimately after we got married, the decision had to be taken on who was going to move. And I guess it is the woman who moves, right?
It's all worth it.
Yeah. So I then quit my job and moved to Mombasa. But at the time, the season within which I registered my business and quit my job was about 4 months. And by that time, because I was already a fine artist and there was work that I was doing, and people knew that I was a good artist, if I may say so myself, I had already some jobs in the pipeline. And so when I quit my job, I had serviced some jobs with deliveries in December, and then moved to Mombasa once I had done that. Yeah.
Great,
And
so
that's how
that
the
was the
business
birth of...
That was the birth of Willard Productions. Yes.
How many years in now?
This is our 20th year.
Yes, oh, 20 years.
Yeah.
Accident 20 years.
Yeah, I know, right?
Most of the people who get into accidents don't want to get out of those accidents. They just went like, you know what, I'm done with this.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll just find out what my purpose is. But you found your purpose, and your purpose was in women later. And this is going to lead us straight into this.
Exactly.
And this is your book. It's not just a book, but a handbook.
This is a handbook
For women and just women in business. How did this come about?
So this is really many years later, after I had run my business, certainly over 16 years. Mm-hmm. And through there's a lot of introspection that happens when you've been running a business as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, how many other Patricias are there out there who never ever thought that they would be able to run a business, to employ people. This is actually, that was my first business, but by that time I was running my second business as well. And with that in mind, that is what made me think of, there are other entrepreneurs out there. How can I record their stories and let people share, in the stories? Initially, it was going to be like a talk show. Yeah. But I was discouraged, and I was told, oh no, there's so many things around women happening, forget it. So I just no, I'm committed to doing this. Let me write a book instead. So I wrote the book, and it took me a couple of years to get it out. 2017 is when it was launched into the market, yeah.
Beautiful. Now, the second one was Conference in a Box.
Conference in a Box is my second business. Yes, it's 8 years old now.
Wow. And you have such a beautiful space in here. And we'll
Thank
get to it. I think this is the
you.
youngest baby.
Yeah, this is my infant.
This is your infant. And I love it. So publication is something that you're into in design.
Yes.
And we have something else over here,
Yes.
a journal
For women doing business.
for women doing business.
Yes.
Right here. Maybe you can tell us about this and
So-
how to use it and why it is important for women in business.
Certainly. So this is like another thing. So I'm a creative. So I believe as creatives we're constantly producing and creating things. But as business people, we are still creatives in that we are here to meet the gap or a need that is in the market.
Yes.
So I look at us as entrepreneurs, as creatives as well, even if they don't know it. So yes, the handbook women doing business in Kenya is a handbook, and it actually has spaces in which you can write, the thought process as you're using the book.
Yeah.
But I felt that that there was not enough space at that time in it. And if I could just go a little bit back, is in 2017 when the book came out, September of that year, we also launched what is known as Circles for Women in Business. And Circles for Women in Business is a coming together of female entrepreneurs where we, through storytelling, tell our stories, primarily to grow our businesses, but also to grow ourselves, because that's how women are. We're nurturing, so that's how we share,
And we
that's
love
how we
to
grow.
talk and share.
We absolutely
Even
love
with
to talk.
strangers.
And we love to dress up.
Yes,
So people
yes,
dress up for that
that
occasion.
Oh yeah, it's a requirement?
Yeah, because we take photos.
Oh, wow.
And share them.
Okay.
So, yes, so that's what came about. So after we had about 3 meetings of approximately 60 to 80 women at each meeting,
Yeah.
I was thinking how much further can we go with this, yeah? And a lot of the women who we spoke to, if they talk about their stories, they really speak about the vision they have or the need in which they're trying to meet. So a journal for women doing businesses puts in mind that women are doing multiple things at any one given time.
Yeah.
And you need to segment certain sections in your life depending on what you're doing. So that's how the book is. It's just blank pages for women to write inside, but they're colored because we love color.
Yeah.
And we can segment. So maybe, the pink section can be about health, the blue section can be about finances, your mental
Green
mind.
is money.
Money, exactly. Green is money, man. I'll use that line. Yeah. So that's generally how it is, because sometimes when we use the same journal for all our stuff, it all gets jumbled. Okay. But with this one, we can actually segment the different sections and the different things in which we're doing.
Any other publications?
Yes, actually we do. This is our newest baby,
Okay.
which is Kayana News. So this is all about the network of female entrepreneurs that we have brought together within this space.
Okay.
And I love, this is something I'm passionate about, telling untold stories. So a lot of the women who will appear on our covers are women who we do not know them at all, but what they're doing is the stories that we're trying to spread within the publication. Yeah.
This is strictly women as well.
This is women, but it's also any affiliated things that are happening,
Okay.
Around the space of women. So it could be, for example, this one talks about the cottage industry, which we hosted recently.
Okay.
And all the activities that have happened within the space. Noreen, who's on the cover, ran one of our first programs within the space with a group from Ghana. Mm-hmm. So it's an online magazine, but I also thought that it would be nice because I love print and I love color. I thought it would be nice to just print a couple for people who come and visit the space and for events that we have. Yeah.
Interesting question. I noticed the space is called Kayana.
That's right.
And then this is called Kayana. Mm-hmm. What does Kayana mean to you?
So Kayana actually means the keeper of keys, right? But it's actually the names of my children. I hear it's called shipping or something like that.
Yeah.
So my eldest daughter, who's turning 18 this year, is Kaya, and my middle child is Ayana, and they went well together.
Hi, my name's Ayana, hence the Kayana. I'm the Ayana part. I think my mom should give me shares since my name is being used in her office. My mom is super fun, awesome. She's very relaxed and she has a very good sense of style.
Yeah, I'd always wanted to name something Kayana anyway. Yeah. So I thought it was perfect. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. So this is the very first edition.
This is the second
is it an
copy.
Annual, monthly.
No, we do it quarterly. And this is our second
edition.
Our second edition. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, thank you.
So let's look at the other spaces in here. As you tell me why women and not gents.
Karibu.
Oh wow, it's a whole space.
Yeah. Thank you.
You really do love color.
Oh my gosh, I love color.
It is such a beautiful space, like from the moment you get into this space to all the way here. But then I was wondering, and I asked you earlier about the passion or what inspired you to just focus on the woman and the woman in business.
Other than the fact that I'm a woman.
That's a good place to start.
Yes. So just talking about my own journey, I don't believe that it's unique. Yeah, I don't believe that my journey is unique, and I do believe that there are other Patricias out there who just need to hear these stories, and then they will be able to get into business as well. So it's more of telling the story from an authentic point of view, so that people can recognize and feel inspired to do the same. So this place was supposed to be warm and welcoming,
yes.
Not intimidating like some places. I didn't want it to be sterile. I wanted in some way to reflect our own homes and how we live in our homes.
Yeah.
And the mural on the wall
yes.
reflects the businesses that are within this area in Kilimani.
Okay.
So you may recognize things like the ladies of the hair, which
the
is
salon.
the market, toy market with the shoes hanging
yes.
there, and of course the potatoes and the karai,
Vijiko, Mwiko,
the charcoal.
Mandizi.
So this is traditionally the businesses that we know women in this area partake in, and that's what I wanted, a reflection of that on the wall. Yeah.
So it's for every woman, this space, as long as you're in business, whatever kind of business,
yes.
we do not choose.
We do not choose, but because we're running an accelerator, the accelerator is geared towards businesses that are moving from ideation to startup, which is ideally maybe the 0 to 3, 0 to 5 years, where we find that a lot of people are not interested because of the high failure rate.
Okay.
But because I am convicted and convinced that women do business different, I know during the nurturing phase, just like we nurture our children, those are the most important years.
Yeah.
So I think the same for business, those are the most important years.
And how do you go around choosing what business? Because if you open this doors open, they'll be like, what?
Everybody will come in.
Everybody will come
Yes.
in. So how do you verify that this is good? This one is probably focused in this business and they will see it to the end.
So what we do, because we're talking about growing businesses into enterprise, there are certain things you must do.
Okay.
You must have a registered business. So we'll expect you to show us your certificate of incorporation. And actually that's about it. We just want to make sure that women have registered, because when you register a business, you get your PIN number and your VAT number. So we already know you're serious about business. Now we don't want you to fail once you have done that. And that is why we're bringing you into this space.
And I have to agree, that is the most important bit, because most of the businesses that are started, they don't go about getting the KRA PIN or the VAT and none of that. They just start a business and they run with it. And when the government comes looking for you,
you run away.
Then you run away and then you lose
Yeah.
everything else. So that is the only thing that you need.
That is the only criteria we ask. However, a lot of the conversations we have within this space, we will include all women. So the only thing is that the members will probably get a preferential rate or free, but the other people will have to pay a concessionary rate if it's not a sponsored event. But that's it. But we are trying to encourage all the women coming into our membership have started doing business right from the beginning.
This particular space has seen iconic women just come here, and when you're in here you feel the greatness.
Oh, I'm glad.
And let's just talk about Melinda Gates. How did that happen? It is one of those things you will see on TV, and those people you never think in your life probably you'll ever meet, but they were right here.
That's true. So one of the things that I'm really, really committed to doing is for women to believe in their product, that the product will be a global product and will be successful. I want us to think outside our borders.
Yes.
And that level of greatness in speaking is what I used into what we were doing within Kayana. When we started Kayana, even before the space was open, we already had our website up, we already had our value system, we already knew who was coming to join the space. And because of that, of course, red flags of the people who you're targeting. Remember, you have to present yourself in a way that you're targeting the mentors, like let me say the mentors that I would dream to have. And really that was really a real, what I can say, manifestation of a vision that I had, in terms of I want greatness, I want great people to come and get into the space. And I would tell everybody that I would meet, I see the space, I see us hosting Michelle Obama, I see us hosting Oprah when she's in Nairobi. Why not come into a space, inspire women? And because of that, I believe that is how the whole process of Melinda finally coming here and spending 4 hours of the 3 days she was in Kenya here.
What was the most impactful thing for you from that meeting, apart from it, like dreams come true? They
so surreal.
Quite literally did.
It was so surreal. I remember standing at the lift and waiting for the lift to open, and I'm like, man, Pat, Do you know? Yeah, exactly. What are you going to say? Because, of course, the same way I have welcomed you here, I had to do the same thing. That was absolutely surreal. But I kept feeling, imagine how many women will be inspired by this story. Who would have thought a small little space in Nairobi would inspire somebody of that, that level of entrepreneurship to come in and speak about things that she is passionate about within the space. So for me, that's big. I see her as the first person we'll be hosting. I have big dreams of hosting other women within the space, and I hope to see it come into fruition. Yeah.
I think you're a big example of how you can dream and envision something and see it come to happen.
Yes.
Because it is a miracle in itself to be in the same space for you to host such an iconic woman. So that's really,
it was very inspiring, even for me. It was really encouragement. Like I said, God had my back. So my dream is really to have Kayanas open around Africa. It's really Afrocentric spaces, by women, by African women. And for me, that's really important because we know that women have been entrepreneurs, even if it's in the little cottage industry space where, the mama mbogas and what have you, they have raised families and have raised great men with those kind of skill sets. And that's what I'm really trying to replicate within Africa.
Creating ambassadors everywhere in Africa. Yeah. That's really good.
Another thing I'd like to speak about, which is really passionate to me, is the sense of what I call an abundance mentality. Our nurturing instincts are not naturally competitive. We're all about growing. And I feel that the competitive environment in which business is running currently is not, welcoming for women. So I believe a lot in what I call the abundance mentality, where I don't believe in competition, but more in collaborations. So within this space, we do a lot of collaborations. Within the members, any skill set that they offer, it's part of the commitment as a member that they will offer that skill set to other people within the same industry. So we talk about a lot of collaborations and not competition.
Great.
I remember I took a loan, a SACCO loan from my company to buy her a computer to do graphics. And at that time, it was 150,000 shillings for a computer. So it was a big investment. So I was thinking, we're getting married. Our first big investment is 150,000 shillings for a computer, which was about 100,000 shillings cheaper than a car. Or 50,000. That's how big an investment it was. And that's what got us started. So it was a big gamble. We jumped into the deep end with both feet, but she took it in stride. And from there, that's what gave birth to Willard Production and started her journey really into enterprise. And from there, she spawned other things. So she's probably a better business person than I am.
Welcome to Willard Productions Limited, which is the heartbeat of what we do as an organization. Karibu. The first person you'll meet is Kathy, and Kathy is our administrator here at Willard. Hi, Kathy. Here we have Caleb. Caleb does all our deliveries. That photograph there outside is Caleb. Yeah? He does all our deliveries and is very conversant with some of the work that we do within the space. Eric is in sales. Hi, Eric. Ida is my handbag, is my person, my people. We run with her Candid Conversations, Circles Women in Business, and any other activities around Candid. And on top of that, we've got many things in plan for the entrepreneurs, and she's our point person when it comes to that. She also works in events and in our event side, Conferencing in a Box. Hi, Ida. Then in here is our finishing room, where we have Charles, who does most of the finishing, like what he's doing right now. He's preparing vision boards for an event that we're having. And this little space does a lot of magic. Karibu to our studio. This is where all our designs come into life. That's Dennis, and that's Oliver. creating something. I don't know what. They represent the owls that are on the wall. Here we do our print work, and this is Silas. Silas is printing, maybe if you go around you'll be able to see better. Printing on the same vinyl material that we showed you downstairs.
Pat, I love your creep. It is a burst of color and energy, and the people here are amazing.
Thank you.
Was this the first premises for Willard Productions?
No. So when I moved from Mombasa and back to Nairobi, my father-in-law gave me a space at his office, and we call it the orange box because it was literally orange from head everywhere, the walls, everything, even the seats. And that's where Willard was first birthed, in Nairobi. Yeah.
So what prompted for you guys to move from that place to here? And then we've been at Kayana as well.
So what actually the business just grew. The Willard Productions grew organically. So I was initially the first designer. Then I trained my first employee, and she trained her in
How was
design.
that for you?
It didn't
To
seem
even
like training.
trust somebody else with your baby.
It didn't seem like training. I was just like, man, we have work to do and we need to deliver, and I can't do it on my own, so somebody else has to learn how to do it. And that's how we ended up working together. And then we got another designer who we poached from one of our printers. And then had to get somebody to run around and deliver because I was the designer, the client service, the delivery person. So kind of like just outsourcing all the roles that now I could no longer do on my own. And finally, we really did outgrow that space and had to move to a different location, and that's how we found this space. And when we came here, we were only downstairs and slowly grew, got equipment and grew the team. I even had accountants now and salespeople and a studio, which is really, so it's really, this has just really been the heartbeat of my entrepreneurial journey as a businesswoman. Yeah.
20 years.
Yes, it's 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of a personal touch in this office. First of all, the flowers, this smells so good.
Yeah, thank you.
And then there's something behind you, and because I've met your husband and I've met Ayana,
Yes.
I can see them right there.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for this wall?
This is my notice board.
Just?
No name.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah,
It
maybe
looks
now
like
I'll give it a
Wall of
name.
Fame family wall something, because I can see Zahari somewhere.
Exactly, Zahari's there. So this
I
is
can see Ayana, there's a little flower over there.
Yeah.
So
this is why the reason why I do what I do. My family is the center of everything,
yes.
in terms of what I do. So I love what I do in terms of business. That I feel is still a key component of myself. But also what is still part of Patricia is this other side, which is where I live and I create and I employ. And it's still part of me. So one of the things this is a reminder, I'm telling women, you don't necessarily have to give up one for the other. And the beauty about business is that you can balance, what you do. Yeah? Yeah.
So, when you're not being
Boss lady.
who is Pat in that other space?
That's true. Right now I feel consumed by boss lady. But I love, the things that I love to do, I have grown to love to do, is certainly I go to the gym now, a habit that I was taught by my husband. It wasn't my own.
Yeah.
I really love that. The thing that makes my journey, I feel unique, is the stuff that I really enjoyed doing became my business. Do you see, I started getting paid for it. So I love creating, I draw, I'm always producing things. Absolutely love hosting. So that is, I've just learned how to earn money from the stuff that I enjoy. And I know it's a cliche when they say that if you do what you love, you don't have to work a day in your life, but I am living proof of that. So I look forward to Mondays, and I look forward to coming and hearing what we're doing with our week and creating and getting new solutions. So that's all part and parcel of who I am. But outside of that, so I don't work over the weekends.
So what do you do?
So what I do over the weekends is sleep.
That too. It's important.
But yes, so I meet my girlfriends. I have scheduled breakfast meetings with I have a girlfriend I meet every second Tuesday of the month. I have what we call Girls Club, which is my date with my mums and girls, with Ayana, who you met, Ayana,
Yes.
and mums, her friends' mums. We do that at least once a month. So my Saturdays are pretty full, but doing nothing but just having fun. So we visit people's homes, and it's really intimate and nice, and I love that. I really love intimacy, and I love authenticity. I think you're told I'm deep here.
Yes, I was. We have the tea.
We have the details. So that's how I do it. My son goes for soccer in the morning, so when my husband is not around, I'll take him for soccer. And my daughters always have one thing or the other, picking, and that's what I commit my Saturdays and Sundays to doing. And when I'm not doing that at my home, I'm an outdoor person, so I will be seated outside with my notebook. I'll read. I read a lot. I have a 52 book challenge, which I'll also share with you to get people to read more. So I read a lot because I'm very introverted. I love quality.
A week?
That's a book a week, and it's possible.
The whole year?
The whole year.
It is possible. At what point
Yes,
you're
it is.
here, then you're home, you're dropping, you're meeting.
Can you imagine? You can do it. You can actually do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't expect to do 52 books, but I certainly, if I have a challenge to do 52, I will stop somewhere around 20, which will mean that
Which is
I'm doing
good
more
enough.
reading. Exactly. So I love to read. I love to grow my mind. I love to read for pleasure. I absolutely love watching documentaries.
Okay.
And right now I'm in the space of watching documentaries around small businesses and the business world,
What are you reading currently?
I've just actually finished a book called The Fisherman, which is an excellent book, and I'm about to start a new book, which name I can't remember, but I was just about to start it last night. Yes, yeah, but yeah.
Philosophy, mantra that you live by?
I really, because I'm a Christian, a lot of what I believe in is based on my faith, of course, yeah. But the biggest commandment that I believe 100% is love one another, yeah, as you would love your neighbor. So we're not in this world to only create wealth for ourselves. The purpose that we're here in is for everybody. Everybody has their role and their reason for being here. And I like to say that I believe that everybody is meant to live an extraordinary life. Completely. And it's not about building wealth in terms of money and cash. It's about building wealth for generations to come. And if I can support somebody, help in their journey, then for me that is what I'm here for. And that's what I live by. Yeah.
So if there's only one thing that you'd like to be remembered for, what would that be?
Is that she encouraged women to go into business. If the numbers can change, they say from when we started Kayana, we can physically count growth in female-run businesses. For me, that's it. My time is done. Right.
Awesome. It has been an absolute pleasure meeting you and spending the day with you.
Thank you.
And letting us in your world, your family and all of that. And will you keep doing what you're doing? You're such a blessing.
Thank you.
And we'll be back.
We look forward.
The verse is, love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's one of those easiest verses you're told when you're in kindergarten or in Sunday school, and they don't mean much then, but later in life, imagine if all we did is spread the love. Rise by lifting, something else that I picked up today, and that, you know what, maybe you are the reason or you are the blessing for that other person. So always be ready to help, always be ready to learn as well. This has been Icons with me, Wikali, and of course the iconic Patricia Okello, who is my guest today. Let's meet up next week for another iconic episode. Ciao! Wait, Pole. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You can get it? Yeah? Oh my good Lord. Okay, cool. You're good. Perfect. Hi, here we go again. What is that? What am I saying? I see on the Bible verse. We need to say it again. Okay, help me with this.